All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the AliExpress Choice Day sales. We've got about 30 tabs open, some new products and some oldies, but I've just gone through and picked the ones that I think are the best. Let's get cracking. Obviously, as you know, the more you spend, the more you save. As we've got on the screen there, we've got some coupons. You know, spend, what are we going to spend? $129, save $16. Plus the items are already on sale. Anyway, let's get cracking. The way I found these, went over to this sports section and then the fishing and then scrolled through here and found a bunch of interesting items. Go to the first item, a little bit of a different one, but just thought this would be handy to have. It's a live bait tank that you can throw overboard. It's got a nice little carabiner and something to tie off. So if you're kayak fishing or fishing off a jetty, it might be something of interest to some people. $39. It doesn't seem like it's the cheapest, but it seems reasonable. We'll go over to the next one, and it's this backpack by Lixada. Now, I've been looking for a fishing backpack because I just got so much stuff, and I've got this waterproof backpack, which I really do like, but these waterproof backpacks, sometimes they don't have many compartments, and this one just has one huge compartment. So I think something like this would just keep things very organized. There's a couple of other options. There's one I'm going to show a little bit later, but I think this one is quite good, especially, you know, the color scheme is quite nice. Got this gray one, and what's this one? Camo, that would have been cool, but that one's sold out. But I kind of like this one, and it also comes with the tackle boxes, so that's good. $65. These bags seem to be, with the tackle boxes, seem to be around that $65 to $85-ish mark. So I think I might look a little bit deeper into this one. And as you can see on the top here, it's got the sunglasses holder, and it's got plenty of compartments. I'm gonna have a little bit more of a look at this one. Let's see if we've got any pictures down here. So we've got some side compartments, got heaps of little tabs to hook accessories up to. Got the drink holder, got the 4 things there, the tackle trays that go in here in their own compartment. Hopefully there's a roof on the top here. And let's see, okay, there's a sunglasses and upper compartment. Definitely seems like it. 2 rod fixing straps. Yep, that's the other thing I was definitely looking for. Let's see if there's a shot of the other side. We can see it's 37 centimeters wide, so that's quite good. Yeah, cool. It looks like here there's the 2 straps for the rod holders. We've got a better picture of that. Come on, baby, show us the other side. Show us the other side. There we go. Beautiful, perfect. So you can put 2 rods in there. I think I'm going to pick up this bag. It seems to pretty much tick all the boxes. We'll go over to the next tab, and it is these Pure Lure lip grips. Now, the reason why I clicked these is in the past, the reason why I never bought these, they were quite expensive. They may have been as much as $40, but this is a much more reasonable price. Obviously, there's lots of different fish grips and more budget-friendly options, but I think you know, these ones look like they're a little bit more. I believe they fold. Yeah, there we go. They fold, so that's cool. And just, you know, the ergonomics on it look pretty good. So what do we do? Yeah, I think you can just push that trigger. The ergonomics just look good on this thing. So I think that's a reasonable value for money option. And we'll go to the next tab. And oh yeah, these jig heads here, they've got lips on the jig heads. So it looks a bit, it's not exactly what I thought it would be. You know, if I was to design a jig head like this, obviously you'd have the lip on the bottom and then just the traditional hook attachment point on the top. Because we can see in this swimming video, if we just go back a little bit here, I had a look just to you know, see what it was all about, and I didn't really recognize anything, you know, really fancy about it, but just thought that that would be an interesting item to point out. But yeah, if I was to design one, I would be putting the lip on the bottom. And check out those fingernails. Yikes. Next one is talking about lips. I forget what the brand is. There's a JDM brand that sell these soft plastics that have the lip on them. Let's see if they've got a video here. We got a video? No, it doesn't look like it, but these look super interesting. I have seen a video of the original product on an Instagram post maybe 9 months ago or something, and they do swim, you know, pretty nicely. So I'm just going to pick these up and just check them out, see what they're like. Got some good colors here, some pink. I like this color. more of a, you know, versatile bait fish color, white, which everyone likes. Not a fan of yellow. They've got a glow in the dark one. And yeah, I like this one. This one is what I would go for. Yeah, just a really common bait fish kind of color around here, like a little mullet or something like that. And these are 85 millimeters. They're kind of big, but yeah, very cool. I'm gonna pick one of these up and see what they are like. Over to the next tab. Where are we now? Tolu. We looked at that one, and now we're on to this one. Ravencraft is quite a bougie kind of CDM brand. I have bought some Ravencraft plastics in the past. Now this is the drunk shad. Few different size options there. 2.7 inch, 3.2, 3.7. 2.7 is going to be absolutely perfect for ultralight fishing. All right, over to the next one, and this is an oldie, the Miine Microbite aging. They've still got it. Let's just bang through a few of the prices here. The 1.68. Okay, so they're pretty much all priced based on their size. The longer it is, the more expensive it is, but I think this is an absolutely banger rod for that price. I honestly don't think there's any spinning rods at this kind of price point with these options with the light casting that can beat this one. So, you know, if you're a light tackle, you know, ultralight spinning tackle guy, I think this rod is definitely high quality, looks really sick, and obviously there's a few different options. The lighter, the shorter options are a lighter casting weight. We've got this 0 to 2 grams here on the 5'6" version, and then it goes up to, I got the 1 to 8 gram 2.1 meter version, and there's also a little bit heavier 1.5 to 10. So probably not a huge difference in the casting weight between these two. So if you're looking for something for open water, probably that 2.2 meter one will be a little bit better. But you know, I may have to pick up the 2.2 just to see what the difference is on the low end. And if the low end casting isn't that much different, well, I think the 2.2 might be the pick of these rods. Go over to the next tab, and it is the Kingdom Stream King. Now we'll have a little
This is the fifth immersive warehouse products experience video. This time we are not going to show lure, but fishing rods. You can see the fishing rod on display today. Stream King Macro Rod. It is a hot-selling fishing rod in Kingdom. The rod body is grass green in color and blends in with the natural environment. The rod body is very light and only weighs 16.1.9 grams. It belongs to the medium fast action. It is very sensitive to fish, and the grip is designed with croc, which is comfortable and beautiful. The length range is 1.39 to 1.58 meter, which is suitable for fishing various stream fish. The staff will carefully pack them and pack them with PVC pipes.
That may be a good option, and under $50, that's pretty good. Over to the next one. Now, this one is the Silus Overking Longcast Inshore Rod. Now, the reason why I put this rod up, it's obviously not a BFS or, you know, an ultralight kind of rod. These models are, you know, from medium light up to medium heavy, but I just thought this was a really interesting rod. If any of you guys are doing any land-based fishing, maybe in the salt water for, you know, long casting metals for salmon, or even off the beach, this is a pretty good rod. I've had a, well, pretty good rod in terms of what it seems to me and the price point. There is, you know, I've been looking for rods with these sort of specs, and this one seems to be the best without, you know, going too cheap. So we've got a few models here. We've got from 7 foot, what's the casting weight on that? 7 to 15 grams. So they're definitely a heavier rod, right up to a 10 foot, 15 to 60. So I would be probably tempted to get the 9 foot, 8 to 40 grams. So that covers a lot of different metals to use off the land or off the beach. So I thought that would be a different rod to show you guys. Some of you guys are from Australia and you're into saltwater fishing, so I thought that'd be interesting. Next one is the Daiwa Fuego Chinese edition, Chinese special, the CS. Now we've got a bunch of models here. We've got the 2000S, we've got 2500, we've got 1000 and 3000. The 3000 comes with a different kind of handle knob, whereas all the others have that traditional finesse knob there. And $106, it's pretty cheap, 108. So there's not too much difference between the 1000 and 3000 size. I believe these retail in Australia for, I mean, they don't sell this particular model or even a Fuego, I don't think, but the equivalent, I believe, is a bit over $200. So it has, you know, the Zion V body and it's mag sealed. So this is the kind of reel that in the stores you'd be paying like $229 or maybe a little bit more for. So if you're into that red aesthetic, I think this is definitely going to be a good buy. What are we up to next? We've looked at that, we've looked at that. Got so many tabs, it's a little hard to keep up with it. We've got probably my favorite rod for quite some time, the Pure Lure Zero. Now we'll have a look at some specs here. There's some different models. What have we got available here? So we've got the 632 light casting, 762 light casting, which is what I've got. Personally, I think perhaps this is the best long light casting rod available. Well, if you're looking for something of a slower action, this is not the rod to go for, but this is definitely a fast action rod with great sensitivity, very comfortable to use, and I really like it, and it's probably my favorite rod. And it also comes in 7, 8, and 8 foot spinning versions and 2 different travel versions. There we go, we've got the 7.2 5-piece spinning and the 7.6 light spinning version in a 5-piece. So this is an absolute banger rod. If you haven't seen it before, check out my other videos on it. I've used it quite a few times. We'll just zip down here, we'll have a look at the aesthetics. Monocoque handle, green accents, and then it fades into black. The tip section has these orange guides, orange wrapping around the guides, which make it a little bit easier to see. And here are the specs of some of the rods here. So this 762C, which I have, is a 1.8 to 12 grams casting, and it's definitely capable of casting, you know, 1.8, 2 grams over sort of shorter distances. You know, you're not going to be bombing out 2 grams on this rod, but yeah, it's definitely great for anything from like 3 to 10 grams. It's bloody awesome, and that's what I typically fish, like a 1/16 ounce jig head with a plastic, or a 12th or an 8th, something like that, or a hard-bodied lure, and it has a really high quality blank. And I think it's definitely a banger rod, and it's been around this price point for a while, but maybe if you haven't seen it before, it'd be a good time to pick it up with the, you know, spend more, save more kind of sale that they've got going on. Next one is the Mavlos Resolute. Now, I have had this in the past in the 6'10", but I don't seem to be able to find the 6'10". The 6'10" one was what I thought to be the best of the super budget long casting rods. There isn't a whole heap of options over, you know, 6'6" or even 6 foot-ish. There's not a whole ton of different options. So the 6'10" one was really good. But I think this is a nice rod, especially these are the travel versions, which I've had in the past as well. I still have it actually. Yeah, but $32, it's, you know, it's a good value for money travel rod. Casting wise, I think it is 1 to 8 grams, I'm gonna say. Black, it's all black. It's, you know, it looks stealthy. The butt is a little bit big. We like that. Easy to grip, ergonomical. If you have a kid, it can be good with the split grip at only 6 foot. That's, you know, something that I would get my kids to start with, you know, something that would give them some casting distance, and also that they can use 2 hands to cast. So 0.8 to 7 grams casting weight. So there is the Mavlos Resolute. Next one, now these jig heads, these tungsten cheb weights, these are the pick for me. I personally, you know, I've bought a few. I've bought some cheaper lead ones, which, you know, the hole in the middle is sometimes a bit uneven. They're sometimes a little bit rough, but these ones are my go-to right now. So price-wise, you know, free shipping, $8 for a 10 pack of you know, 1 grams, but they've got 1.5s, 2s, 3s, which is good. That's what we use mostly in our ultralight and BFS fishing, but they've also got up to 30 grams. So yeah, I think I've got some 10s and some, maybe I've got 14s in these. I've definitely got heavier in 10s in other brands, but you know, if you're wanting to use a smaller presentation and fish the bottom, and you know, in deeper water or with current, you know, especially salt water, some heavier cheb weights can be the go, because obviously with a traditional jig head you can't get the weight you want with the size hook you want. Like if you want to go a smaller presentation like a 2.5 inch grub or paddle tail or that type of thing, and you need, you know, maybe a 1/4 ounce or a 1/2 ounce, you're never finding a #1 size jig head that's a 1/4 ounce. So that's why these cheb weights are great. Plus, if they're in current and you're working the bottom, obviously the lure can move freely and kind of pivot on the bottom, which is added benefit with these cheb weights over a Ned head, for example. On to the next one. Where are we now? So we've done the Mavlos, we've done that, we're up to here. Now this is the other backpack, this Bassdash backpack. Obviously it's cheaper than the other one, has a lot of the same features, so it could be of you know, interest to other people over the other one, because it's about $22 cheaper. And it comes in, oh no, the khaki is sold out, but it comes in the camo, which, you know, I like camo obviously, but not a huge fan of that. And the green, I probably prefer the camo. I think the green, I don't know, with these brown accents, if it was up to me, I'd probably get that one there. Although it may get a little bit dirtier being that color, but I think it kind of looks a little bit more stylish. And yeah, this one has, we'll go down to have a look at the pictures here, plenty of storage space. It's a big boy, 40 centimeters wide, so a little bit bigger than that other one. I believe that other one was 38 centimeters wide, but yeah, you've got the drink holder, you've got the sunglasses holder, and you've got the 2 rod holders on the side. You don't have as many, I think the other one had some more carabiners here. It's just a little bit of a different you know, configuration. But yeah, as you can see here, you can put your tackle boxes in here, and it looks like you can also remove that roof on there. So you can have your 3 or 4 tackle boxes in the bottom there, and then up the top here, you can store stuff in that main compartment, which sits on that you know, that floor or that roof of the bottom compartment. So, you know, that's another pretty cool option. And also this one, I don't know if the other one has it, I don't believe so. This one's got the rain cover, so that could be also of use. And yeah, it's a pretty good backpack. All right, on to the next one, and it is the Seasir Tinghi. It's a good value for money reel. I would say, is it as good as, say, I think something to compare it to would be the what is it, the Handing M1 Elite. I think the Handing M1 Elite is a bit of a smoother reel on the retrieve, but this one is, you know, it's a little bit more stylish and has bigger size options, so you know, that may be something you want to consider. Both are a little bit on the deeper side. This one is probably ever so shallower than the Handing M1 Elite. And we've got 2500 up to 6000 size. So if you're looking for a budget reel in a bigger size, this one might be the go-to. Because if we have a look here, the 6000 and the 4000, we've got the 5000. What's that one there? The 5000. They've all got power knobs. So that could be of use, because obviously having one of these small knobs, and we've even got it on the 3000 actually, having one of these small knobs is not ideal for the bigger reels. So yeah, that can be a really good budget option. Look at that. $29 for the 4000 size. So that's something that you'd be putting on one of those rods I showed you earlier, one of those like 9-foot rods, perfect for, you know, salmon fishing in the winter here in Australia. On to the next one, it's the Kingdom Micro Pro. So yeah, it's at a pretty good price now. I think it released around about, it may have even been over $100, but I was going to say around about $99, but it may have been more expensive than that. But I just clicked on this because the price kind of surprised me a little bit. Like, I mean, it's not an absolute steal of a price, but it is quite low. And this one does come with that medium spool, just like the oh, do you get a real maintenance kit? What's this? Is it just advertising? It might just be advertising, but yeah. Just like the Pure Louisiana, This one has a little bit of a deeper spool, whereas the Zana is a little bit more expensive. They're more or less the same reel, different aesthetics, but the Zana does come with the shallow spool included, whereas with this one, you have to purchase it as an extra, and it's around about $15, I believe. But yeah, no one's had any sort of complaints with this reel. I personally haven't had this reel, but I've got the Zana, and yeah, no complaints with the reel, high quality reel, and I think it's at a pretty good price, especially if you like those black and purple aesthetics like I do. On to the next one, and it is the Histar Aurora Air. Now, this reel has sort of gone down and come up in price over the 18 months or however long it's been out for. It's probably gone as high as maybe into the 80s, and at that price point, I probably wouldn't buy it. Or maybe I would. I mean, it's a banger reel. There have been some issues with, you know, people's reels, like some quality control issues. With mine, the issue was the drag star. You couldn't turn it all the way, like it had a very short range of motion either way, but that was an easy fix. Within 5 minutes, I just removed one of the washers, popped it back, no issues at all. But the great thing about this reel, apart from its looks and the price, maybe this is the best light casting reel still. It just casts so well. You know, the 1 and the 2 gram lures, it casts so well. I had the Pure Lures, well, I keep saying I've got the Pure Lure Silver Feather, the Pure Lure Air, Silver Feather Air, and I've still got that, still like that reel, and was using that reel non-stop for however many months it was. Then I grabbed this reel, and I think the first cast I was like, wow, I think this casts like an extra meter or so further than the other reel. So yeah, this is a really banger reel if you're wanting to cast lightweights, and I don't know if it's going to come down any further in price anytime soon, so now might be the time to grab one. We got these tools here. I'm going to show you another one, maybe it's in the next tab, but I thought I would click these because these are a little bit different. They're maybe slightly cheaper than what I'm going to show you up next, but let's have a look if they've got some pictures here. Now, these are line cutters, and these also have some, they're tungsten blades on those. And these also have a locking mechanism, so you can close them and lock them, which pretty sure the others don't have. And in fact, I've got it right here, and these ones don't have them. And it's also got the pliers. So if you want to take a hook out of a fish, or if you need to, you know, bend your hook, or if you want to, you know, open up a split ring, there's these. So I think these are pretty damn good. I think I might be getting a few of these. I was saying to myself that I was going to grab a few of these and just, you know, all the sort of random tackle bags I have, put one of those on there so I'd never forget them. But yeah, these also have the added extra features that the ones I'm going to show you don't have. So I think I'm definitely going to grab these. And random color, yeah, maybe I'll buy 3 of them or something like that. On to the next one. That's the ones I'm talking about. These are the ones here that I've got. Super impressed with those. I showed them in my last full length video with the Seasir Cast XZ. The cutters are definitely good on these, so I assume the previous ones that I showed you are just as good. You can just snip, snip, snip braided line so easily. Yeah, and these ones come in a bunch of colors and they're pretty cool, although they don't have a you can't lock them, which is sort of a little bit of a negative thing, like if you're going to put them in your pocket, because that was my thinking. They're just so small and compact. They're only 5.5 centimeters long, so you know, I would definitely think about just whacking them in my pocket rather than having to go to my bag or have a lanyard or something like that. But yeah, these are definitely quite good, and maybe you like the color of them, so you might grab these ones over the other ones. But yeah, I can definitely recommend these. On to the next one, and it's the Seasir Zero, one of the lightest rods on the market. I don't know if it's the lightest rod, I haven't really cared to have a look at that, but it's 43 grams. That's kind of crazy. Now, the price is good. So far, feedback from others has been positive on this rod. Comes in both spinning and casting. Let's have a look. It's a 1.5 to 6 grams casting weight. Let's have a look at some of the pictures here. As you can see, kind of, you know, I'm personally not a massive fan of having this short of a grip on here. With a spinning reel, it'll be fine, but I'm getting the impression that that may be a little bit uncomfortable with your hand just coming off there. But you know, maybe it isn't. And it's got the small EVA foam fighting butt on the bottom there. 43 grams for the spinning, 49 for the casting, but it only comes in 5 foot. So what I'd love to see from Seasir, seeing as they've got the Cast Pro reel and the Zero VX reel, why not have a few more models? I'd like to see definitely a 6 foot model, and then definitely something longer. Like if they had a 7 foot model at around about this price point, maybe $43 or something like that, then you know it's got the edge over the Mavlos Resolute as you know that black rod that's a light casting rod and has a bit of length to it. So if I was Seasir, I'd be looking at doing that because that would sort of fill a little bit of a void in the market. A few more. We've got the DMK, what are they calling it? The Xingrui. Now I believe this is the DC model, or is this, I always get confused by these, but yeah, these are basically the same as the silver feather reels, but instead of being sold by Pure Lure, they are sold by directly by DMK, the manufacturer of the reel. Now, yeah, this one here is obviously the DC version. You can tell by the lights there, and I do get confused, but there are 3 versions. There's basically an Elite and an Air equivalent version, but yeah, this one comes in black, comes in white, and it comes in pink. Ever so, don't be afraid by that spool depth. It's you know, it's not super deep. Like if you've had super shallow spooled reels and then you go to this one, you think, oh, that's a little bit deep, but it's nothing like the depth of some of the other reels that have come out. Like the Zana is definitely a little bit deeper than that. But yeah, this is the kind of reel that if you're looking for a DC reel that's really user friendly, I would definitely go for this. Like $127, that's very cheap. What models have they got in stock? We've got the black in lefty. We've got the white, or yeah, it looks silver, but no, actually, I thought it was white. That in my previous video, it kind of looked like a pearl color, and I was told in the comment section it's actually silver. So that's that there. It looks a lot like a silver feather Air. So we've got that in both left and right-handed. And then there's the lower gear ratioed versions. These are the 7.5 to 1. We've got that in lefty. Those are out. So if you're looking for a higher gear ratio model, you're probably out of luck. But we've got the white one, I mean the slower gear ratio. We've got the higher gear ratio, 8.5 to 1 in the silver, in both left and right-handed. So I think that price is pretty damn good. $110, that's crazy. Go over to the next tab, and it is a Seasir Prospec. I think this is maybe Seasir's best product out of all the reels that I've tried. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. It's double the price of the Tinghi, but the quality is definitely there. You can definitely tell a difference with the smoothness of the retrieve. The drag is a little bit better, the build is a little bit better, that type of thing. There's a 2000S and there's 2 models in the 3000. It's kind of interesting. The single-handled version is a little bit of a deeper spool, whereas the dual-handled version is a little bit of a shallower spool. So, you know, that's kind of interesting. I reckon they should have a 4th version, a single-handled version with the shallower spool. And why not have a 5th version? Why not have dual spool options in both the shallower and deeper spool? That would make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, it's a very smooth reel. I actually put it up against my 2 Emeraldus reels, which I have had for quite some time, and it does feel smoother than that. Maybe over time things will change. Obviously those Emeraldus reels have been used quite a bit for something like 3 years. I've had them 2.5, 3 years. So yeah, maybe that's why, but this one is definitely smoother, and I definitely wouldn't hesitate to recommend that one. Got 3 tabs left. Anatony Silver Rhino, have a look down there, $42, and more or less everyone is giving positive feedback about this reel. I haven't picked it up myself. I just don't feel a need to grab this reel just because it's not sort of giving me anything extra that any other reel doesn't have. But if you're a first timer or you're looking for another BFS reel that's at a budget price point. I think this one is definitely the king right now, 42 Australian dollars. So it's only around $10 more expensive than your Seasir or your Simrio type of reels, but the quality is definitely much nicer on this reel. And it actually has like a Simrio kind of trigger there, which is kind of interesting. I just noticed that gives me Simrio vibes. But yeah, it only weighs 130 grams, pretty light. It's probably about the same size as the Overking Acura, but it's a lot cheaper than the Overking Acura. So I'm gonna say this is a good buy. If you're looking for a first BFS reel, I'd probably look at this one. And also it has a T-shaped line guide, so that is a good thing. Obviously a lot of them have conical line guides, but this has the T-shaped one, which is my absolute favorite. And that was on my first ever BFS reel, which was the Black Knight 2. And I don't think I've got another reel that has that T-shape, which is kind of disappointing because I think it's the best design. Two more rods, we got, or two more products. We've got one rod here. It's another longer rod for saltwater land-based fishing. I think it's an absolute banger of a price. I'm definitely gonna pick one of these up. Check out the design on here. It's got these sort of blue and lighter blue flecks there, the little carbon fiber with a blue detail there. So if you're looking for something, again, for saltwater fishing, land-based, maybe off, you know, Lawn Pier or something like that, going for salmon or even off the beach, we've got a bunch of different options here. We've got, you know, I'm probably interested in, you know, I'd be tempted between these two models. The 10-foot model is a 3-piece, which, you know, that could be of benefit to you. But yeah, these two models here, 9'2" and 9'7". We've got the 9'2", which is 7 to 30 grams, which might cover everything that you want to cast. And then we've got the 9'7", which is 10 to 40 grams. So a little bit higher casting weight, but it's a little bit of a longer rod, 5 inches longer. But yeah, the weight is a little bit different there, 12 grams difference. Okay, you know, maybe that 9'2" would be more attractive. I don't see myself casting over 30 grams much, to be honest, but you never know. Maybe I end up casting over 30 grams and regretting it, but I think I'm definitely going to pick up this rod and it looks really sick. We've got one more and it is my favorite braided line. I'm not really much of a line snob, I would say. I mean, there are lines that I get and I either like them or dislike them. Usually it's got to do with the smoothness, or if they're too kind of supple, and I tend to get, say, wind knots or something with a particular line more than I do with other lines, then I just can those lines. But this line I haven't had any problems with, and it comes in a really sick color. Featured it in my last video and some other videos. But yeah, I believe it comes in two different colors. There's more of a greeny and more of a blue color, although I don't know for sure because I've always wanted to go for the greenier color. So I've always just purchased via this link, and it's always been that color. So happy days. So yeah, it's a 13 strand braid, pretty smooth. And if we just scroll up, obviously the price point is really good. We'll just scroll up because there's quite a few different options. We've got a 150, a 200 and a 500 meter spool. So if you're wanting to save more money, obviously go for the 500 meter spool. And these ones, they do come in as low as a 0.8 go braid, but they come in up to 6, like P6, I guess it is, and P0.8. So if you're looking for something lighter and something on the budget end, you know, maybe go for your Miine Microbite, something like that. But yeah, if I'm going for a saltwater rod, I just like the aesthetics of this. If I'm going for a freshwater rod, I like the aesthetics of the Seasir Red Bull. But anyway, guys, let's click back over to the last tab. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. If you have any more questions, just feel free to ask me. Check out yepfishing.com as well while you're at it. Hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next video.